Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Literally What. Happy Monday. I'm so excited to be back with you guys, just gossiping, chatting, all of the fun stuff. It's my favorite time of the week, honestly. And we're getting into my favorite time of the year. We're getting into the summer. We're getting into all of the fun vacations. I get to see so many of my favorite people coming up, and Cinco de Mayo, first of all, one of my favorites, because if you don't know, my husband and I go to Mexican probably twice a week. We show up to a Mexican restaurant and the waiter literally already brings our drinks to us, and they know us, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But also my sister's birthday, we have a couple Disney trips planned. It's just, we're getting into just a fun time, and especially summer in Florida. What can be better, you know? On a sad note, though, I have been reading the ACOTAR series, and if you know, you know. If you don't, you probably don't know what that means, and you need to get into it, okay? All my book talk people, you all probably heard of this series. I am now on my final book of the series, and something about finishing a series when you've put so much time into it, it is a very depressing. I'm almost kind of mourning the series, and I'm like, it's literally a book. It's not that big a deal. But to me, like, I spend so much time with these new characters. Just, I mean, the books are big too. So that has become very sad for me, and I'm starting to read super, super slow because I know once it's over, it's over. And luckily, the author, she is coming out with another book, but we don't know when. So that's just been in the back of my head that I'm almost done with the book. And I was texting my friend because she already finished the series and she's already on to her next, but I was like, how do you get over it and just like move on to the next series? It's kind of like almost a breakup. You're like, okay, I'm done with this series, now I gotta move on to another one, but like, this is my first big series. Like, I don't know what to do. Anyway, if you're a book reader, you'll understand. If not, you should try to understand. You should start reading those books because they are, I don't want to say life-changing, but it makes you think about the world, and I wish I lived in their world, that's for sure. But we have a lot of exciting things coming up, podcast, pop culture-wise. We have the Dance Moms reunion. If you didn't grow up watching Dance Moms, what are you even doing? But their reunion comes out, I think, in a couple days, so I will be watching, recapping, all that fun stuff. And then we have the Met Gala that is coming up this month as well that I'm really excited for. So a lot of fun things ahead. We have a really good show for you. As always, we have our stories. We have our Literally What segment where you guys wrote in. We have some really funny submissions. And then I also will be recapping The Valley, which is one of Bravo's newest shows. And I'm going to get you all hooked on it. I don't care if you've never watched Bravo, you will love this show, especially if you love this podcast. So we have a lot to get into today. So let's just jump right in and get into some hot gossip, hot take, stories, and advice that will have you saying literally what? All right, everyone, let's get into our first story because I have been obsessed with any content and all content I can get, and that is Stagecoach 2024. Stagecoach, if you don't know what it is, it's basically like the country version of Coachella. It's a country music festival. It is held in the same place that Coachella is held, but it is a little bit of a smaller festival. It's still obviously huge. It sold out this year, but typically Coachella sells out in days, and Stagecoach still had some tickets, eventually sold out, but just not as many people go to Stagecoach. I am obsessed because I don't know if it's just this is the first year, but it seems like all of Bachelor Nation was there this year, and I wish more than anything that they vlogged it or did something. Obviously they're not vloggers, but it looked so much fun for everything that I could get. There were obviously a lot of pictures posted on Instagram, TikToks, but it's not the same. And everyone I love was there, and I'm like, I want more content from you guys. So this year, some of the big names that were there, Jelly Roll performed, Miranda Lambert, Carrie Underwood, Morgan Wallen, Eric Church, Post Malone was there, and Post Malone, I think, has become my favorite artist. If someone came up and asked me who it would be, I would probably say Post Malone. And in high school, I was obsessed with his Beer Bongs and Bentleys album, but no, I didn't really talk about it, and I just became obsessed and learned all of his songs. And I went to his concert last year. one of the greatest nights of my life. And Justin Bieber was number one up there. I'm literally a 10-year-old girl, but Post Malone has taken the cake, and I'm very excited for his new album to come out. I know it's more country forward, and even though I'm not the biggest country girl, I feel like Post Malone is going to change me into a country girl just because he's going to be the one singing. But yeah, Posty, I love you. And please go on tour. Or is he on tour? I don't know, but I want to go see him again. But yeah, those are some of the big ones. And then literally all of Bachelor Nation. So like Maria was there. She was there with all of the girls from the last Bachelor season. Tyler Cameron was there. Obviously, he's literally showing up everywhere. Joey and Kelsey were there. They were with Jason Tardik and then his new girlfriend, Kat, who I talked about last week. They started dating. So that was kind of funny to see. She, like, Kat, I don't know. It's weird seeing her with all the Bachelor people. She looks out of place. Maybe she's not, and that's just me overthinking it. But anytime I saw her in a clip, I was like, you just look really out of place. But Hannah Godwin and Dylan were there. They were with the Arnold sisters from Dancing with the Stars. I love them. So just like all my favorite people were there. And then Daisy obviously was there as well. I didn't really see a lot of content of her with like Rachel, Kelsey from The Bachelor. Like, I don't know what she was doing. And part of me wonders, she's obviously off doing her own stuff. I feel like she is doing so many cool, amazing things and has all these opportunities, but I don't see her as much with the other Bachelor people. And I'm like, it has to be hard being the runner-up and then seeing Joey with Kelsey and like all the other girls. But I don't know, part of me thinks that she's pulled away. And again, it's social media, so how am I to know? But I don't know. Maybe I missed pictures, but from what I could tell, she wasn't really hanging out with them. But most of Bachelor Nation was with the Patron company. Stagecoach has a lot more like alcoholic drink companies that are putting forth, getting influencers there to promote. But yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. I went to Nashville, and dressing up like that, like I guess cowboy country vibes, I think it's so fun because I would never dress up like that in a normal day. But Stagecoach, I think, would be much more of a possibility of me to go to a festival. Definitely not Coachella, but Stagecoach always looks so much fun. And I was just obsessed. I was like eating up every single picture and video I could get from this weekend. And I'm glad everyone had a fun time. It looked super fun. But I wish they like recorded more. Honestly, if it was that Bachelor heavy, they should have done some kind of like special. I don't know. Like I feel like they could have done something with that, but I'm just me. I don't know what does well on television, what doesn't. All right, so next story. Emma Chamberlain teases a collab with Kendall Jenner for Chamberlain Coffee and 818. Basically, a video came out of Emma Chamberlain, and it kind of looks like a commercial ad, and she was basically like, everyone's ordering espresso martinis, and like that's like seems like the next big thing. And then she looks up where they came from, and it was like a video of like Kendall Jenner, and then Kendall Jenner came and sat with Emma and was like, I want an 818 espresso martini, blah blah blah. So it looks like they will be doing some kind of espresso martini with Emma's coffee company and Kendall's 818 tequila company. It's interesting to me though, because recently Sheena and Katie from Vanderpump Rules, you've probably seen it everywhere, the Chili's commercial where they came out with a tequila espresso martini at Chili's, and then they were the spokespeople. So now it's like Emma and Kendall. Like, was this already planned? Are they trying to compete against it? I don't know. I've never had Emma Chamberlain's coffee, and I've never had 818 tequila. Actually, no. I've probably had 818 tequila, but I don't know. Anyway, it's just interesting that these two different espresso martinis are now coming out, and I love a good espresso martini. It is one of my favorites. They will put me on my butt, though, like, if I have more than one. I don't know what it is in it. It doesn't do well with me. Maybe it's the caffeine as well as the tequila. Well, I get mine. Does it normally come with vodka? I don't know. I'm not a connoisseur, but I'm interested to see what they do with this. And if it's going to go in a restaurant, or if they're just going to come out with maybe like a canned espresso martini. I think that's probably the more biggest possibility of what's going to happen, but good for them. And I still want to go to Chili's to try the Sheena and Katie one because I feel like that's going to be so bomb. But let's get into our next story, which is not on a happy note because freaking, I don't know how much quicker they could have done it. The president signed that new legislative rule, law, whatever the heck it is, to ban TikTok unless the app finds new owners. I literally cannot with this story, but basically under this law, the current owners of TikTok have 270 days to sell the app, or it's going to be wiped from all of the app stores in the US. Yeah. And the owner posted a video on TikTok that I came across, and I thought it was so funny. He was basically like, don't worry, we're going to go to court and fight this under freedom of speech law or whatever and try to combat it. But I'm like, how is this the number one most pressing issue? Number two, like, this can get passed so quickly. Why is this on their minds? Why, like, TikTok, I learned way more on TikTok than I've learned anywhere else in my life. And I love using TikTok. I'm on it daily. I've talked about this before. And it just boggles my mind that they've passed it this quickly. And just really, really makes me mad. And I can't talk about it too much longer because I will just go on a rant. But this is so stupid. And I'm crazy. It's craziness. This world is insane. It really, really is. Let's go to our next story. Emma Stone wants to go by her real name. And you probably, like me, didn't know that wasn't her real name. Apparently it's not. Her real name is Emily. So Emma Stone opened up about how she took on a new stage name to launch her career on screen, but she still prefers using her real name when possible. Okay, so she did an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, and she said her coworker said something like, I just want to say that her name's Emily, but everyone calls her Emma professionally. So when there's people that don't know her, I end up saying Emma, but I'm just going to say Emily from here on out. So I'm like, I don't understand. Apparently there was something where in the actor SAG, there's some kind of actor, I don't really know what it means, but her name was taken, Emily Stone. And so she was like, I just was going to do Emma Stone. And then she freaked out a couple years ago and said, I can't do it anymore. Just call me Emily. But I'm like, just because someone had your name in that SAG, whatever, it doesn't say that you can't have the same name as someone else, right? Or does it say that you have to? Okay, so it says that no member of the guild can have the same professional name. So that's why many performers have adopted stage names when their birth names are already in use. So Michael Douglas adopted his stage name Michael Keaton. Diane Hall was Diane Keaton. Elizabeth Mitchell opted to go by Elizabeth Banks. Interesting. Here's the thing, and we know so many people with stage names, right? Like Lady Gaga, Cardi B, and I remember Kelly Clarkson wanted to change her last name as well. But when you were that known of a person and when you were at that level of fame, I feel like it's impossible to get people to call you by your birth name, especially people with like a one namer like Rihanna, Beyonce. It's just like, I don't understand how Emma Stone's obviously very, very successful. She was winning all these awards at all the award shows and now wants to go by Emily. Like, I'm sorry, that's probably not going to happen, and everyone's probably going to call you Emma Stone, and it's not that big a deal. And I feel like, I don't know, I think it would be cool to have a professional stage name and then only my closest people know like my real name. But I guess names are weird. But, I mean, in fame though, like, I don't know, changing it back to what it was when everyone knows you as that name, it's going to be really hard to do and probably not going to happen. But yeah, I know for me, like, obviously my name is Taylor, but no one calls me that, like literally no one. And if they do, I think they are so pissed off at me. My husband never, like, he's probably called me by my first name a handful of times. Like, my friends don't call me Taylor. So when someone says Taylor, I'm like, it's weird, but that's what I'm used to. It would be like, everyone obviously calls me by my nickname, and then I'm like, okay, now I want you to call me by this. Like, no one's gonna do that. They've known me too long. And anyway, I don't know. This story was just like so funny to me because I'm like, that's what you're worried about. Like, you went with that name. Everyone knows you as that. And I don't really think it's gonna change to what you want it to be. But if you didn't know, her real name is Emily Stone. And also Emma Stone just has I feel like any professional stage name just has a way better ring to it, so why wouldn't you just keep it as that? You know? Anyway, next story, the NFL draft. I didn't even know this was happening, and then all of these videos on my TikTok, which of course I find everything on TikTok, came out of these players getting the phone call, and they were with like all their friends and family, and I went through a rabbit hole of watching every single video I could find of the players getting that call and getting drafted, and I was obsessed. I was like getting pretty emotional because I'm like, I didn't know this was a thing, and there were so many videos just from previous years, and then this year they were super emotional. But yeah, that was like really, really cool, and I wish that they put that on TV instead, but I don't know how it all works. Apparently this year, though, there are 23 offensive players who were drafted and 6 quarterbacks, and this was the most that NFL history has had before. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't really look into it. I'm sure there's lists of what team drafted the best and what didn't. I don't know what all that means. Maybe I'll have to ask my husband or something about it, but this isn't a sports podcast, as much as I'm sure some of you would like it to be. I don't know anything about it, so I'm relaying that the NFL draft happened, but I'm getting definitely more on the emotional side, and I don't really know who picked who. And anyway, but if you haven't seen those videos on TikTok, definitely, it was really, really, really sweet. And I forget who, there was one I saw, and I don't remember his name, but I think he went to UGA and he was like sobbing in his wife's arms, then like went and hugged his mom, and then like he said something like ready to win the Super Bowl, or I don't know. It was just really cute, and all of the videos were just super sweet. And yeah, if you want something to do, go look up those videos because they were really, really cute. All right, our next story I thought was so freaking funny. Benny Blanco went on a podcast, and he was basically asked like how the hell he landed Selena Gomez, and that is obviously the question that everyone has been thinking since the first headline came out that they were together, because he's not what you would consider a typically, I don't even want to be rude about it, but he's not like this male model that's going to be in the Calvin Klein ads, you know? So he went on Andrew Santino's podcast, and Andrew basically just like kept going, and obviously they were friends, because if they weren't, this would be so mean. But he was like, how did you get a woman like Selena Gomez? And he was like, I mean this with every ounce of my being. Like, I lost so much respect for her when I heard that she started dating you. And he just kept going on, and I was like, oh my gosh. And Benny was like, no, like, I totally understand. I ask myself this all the time. Like, I don't understand it. And I ask myself that same question every single day. And I was like, it made me feel really bad for him, because it's like, imagine you are dating Selena Gomez, but it's like everyone's looking at you being like, you're not good enough, like, you're ugly, like, how did you start dating her? How did you get it? And I'm like, honestly, he probably is so respectful and is probably the nicest boyfriend that Selena's ever had, probably nicer than a majority of people's boyfriends. And you know, I think he probably has a really great personality, and it's not always about looks. This is what I always say. Like, I feel like you'll meet people, and it's so cliche, but it's like a personality can make a guy go from like a 5 to an 8 or a 9. You know, it's like, it's not about looks. Yeah, you could be like the hottest person ever, but if you're like an asshole and like dumb and not respectful, why would anyone want to date you? You know? I don't know. I just felt bad. But even just seeing him on the podcast and seeing how self-aware he is, and I just think he is probably a really, really good guy. And I've seen some of his TikTok videos. He's really, really funny. He has a great sense of humor. Obviously, again, self-aware. He's not, do y'all remember the Simone Biles when her husband went on? And they were like, how did you get Simone Biles, you know? And he was like, well, I'm the catch, blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't even know who she was, really. So it's like, you take that compared to this, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, looks maybe, but like, to be respectful and have a great personality and know that, you know, put your lady above everything else. I'm like, I would take that over a guy like, you know what I mean? It was just like, you compare it, it's like, it's not even comparable, because I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? You'll probably get what I'm saying with this. And if our girl's happy, that's all we need. That's all we care about. Live, laugh, love, Selena. Got to keep an eye out for Selena. Alrighty, and our last story ties back in to Disney Channel, the good old days, and that is Miley Cyrus. And apparently Miley Cyrus went back to her roots, and she looks like Miley Stewart all grown up with nostalgic brunette hair transformation. When I saw this, it was so funny to me because I'm like, Miley Cyrus and Miley Stewart are the same person. Like, it was like the headline came out and I'm like, what? They're literally the same exact person, but she was spotted with her mom and her hair was just like longer, had loose curls. She had a little bit of the bang situation going on, and it did kind of look like the character Miley Stewart, even though it's literally Miley Cyrus. But then I was getting all into, you know, when Miley was post Disney Channel, she definitely went through that whole change and, you know, wanted to look complete opposite of how she did with Hannah Montana and just kind of put that behind her. And in 2021, I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but she basically like wrote a letter and posted it, and it was like from Miley Cyrus like to Hannah Montana, the character. And she was like, although you're considered to be an alter ego, there was a time in my life when you held more of my identity in your glove than I did in my bare hands, and you provided me with a superlative amount of fame in return to the oh my gosh, what is the word? Anonymity. I'm so everyone's laughing at me. It's fine. And then she said that I could gift you. So I think for her, in the place where she is right now, like she just won a Grammy. She is in a great spot. I think she's dating someone that she really likes. And it's cool to kind of see her embrace, I guess, the Miley Stewart hair, even though they're the same person, but just she's not trying to stray so far away as she was in her bangers era, which JoJo Siwa could never. And also, there are like sneak peeks from the Dance Moms reunion. All the girls look so amazing and just like put together, and then you have JoJo doing her little dance all around. I'm like, they definitely, all the comments are like, they have a group chat without her. And you know what? They probably definitely do, because they all got Dance Moms tattoos and she wasn't there. So it'll be interesting to see the reunion for sure. But those are all the stories that we have today. And now we're going to get into, I'm going to do our Literally What segment first and then do the TV recap at the end. Even if you don't watch or care about this TV recap, just listen. Okay, just stay to the end, listen to it, because I promise you, once you start watching and get into it, you will be so grateful and be like, oh my gosh, Taylor, like, what would I have done without you telling me to watch this? And I'll be here to say, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to get you guys into things that you might not think you will like, but you will like. Because especially me, I don't watch new shows. I stick very much to my 30-minute sitcoms. That's just me. But when there's something good out there, I will let you guys know about it. Okay. All right. So let's get into our Literally What segment. You can write in. I read them off, not every week, but just like when I get some good submissions. You can send me an email to literallywhat916@gmail.com. There is a link that is under like all my YouTube videos, in my Spotify descriptions, in my Instagram bio. It's all anonymous. You can also just shoot me a DM. You can basically write in anything. A lot of people write in just crazy stories of experience. Sometimes I'll get questions like if they need advice about a crazy situation. It's really just your space to kind of write in and have me read it off and have the audience say, like, literally, what is this about? And like, this is crazy. So that's what it's here for. Feel free to write in. And yeah, let's get into our first one. Hi, Literally What podcast. Hello. I was dating this guy for about 6 months. He was one of the sweetest guys I've ever dated. He bought me flowers. He took me out on dates. We even ended up buying tickets to a concert in advance, so it would be this summer. Okay. Fast forward to now, and he basically sent me a breakup text, and we stopped talking after that. I don't even care about the breakup part. I'm more focused on the concert. He texted me last week asking if I was still going, and now I'm doing the ghosting, and I'm just bringing another guy with me with the tickets. Honestly, I love this for you, and it is hard, especially when you haven't been dating someone for super, super long. But if you're at the point where you're buying tickets for things months in advance, you probably thought you were somewhat serious, and then to get that text, I'm honestly kind of happy that you are just going to take another guy and just go. Yeah, even if you wrote and asking what to do, I would probably have told you the same thing. Like, don't even respond. And, yeah, that's weird though. 6 months and he just like texts you. Like, that's what I don't get. And obviously, like, I haven't dated in freaking years, but, I just feel like guys nowadays, every story I hear from my friends who are dating, the guys are just like, they're getting stupider and stupider. So if you're a guy listening to this and you're like dating or you're single, like, stop being stupid. Like, and especially, I'm biased to my friends, but I think that my friends are like the best things in the world. And if I could have dated all my friends, like, I would have, because like I just love them. But to see guys just being stupid, and it's like, eventually you're going to want to settle down, and you're literally like messing up all these relationships because you're immature, and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, yeah, I shouldn't have treated that girl that way. And I probably should have kept dating her because she would have made a great wife and a great mom. But these guys need to get it together, because all I hear is horror stories about dating. So thank God I'm not dealing with that anymore. But I salute all of you girls who are going through the dating world, and guys, because I know that girls can be a lot too. But just get it together, okay? The world is crazy enough, and you don't need to be making enemies with people just because, I don't even know, you're not ready to date, or there's another girl you think is better when half the time they're probably not, and then they end up being crazy, and I don't know. Anyway, but I'm happy for you, and I'm glad that you're going to the concert. And I literally, like, I forget about concerts because it is like a whole thing, like looking up what concerts are going to come to your city. And then I feel like they're normally 6 months to a year in advance, and then you have to buy the tickets, and you have to find an outfit, then you got to find people to go with, then you got to find how to get there. But anytime like I end up going to a concert, and half the time it's because I was invited, and I go, and it's like one of the best nights of my life. Like, literally, if I did like top 10 nights or places I've been, it would be the Justin Bieber concert and Post Malone concert, because concerts, there's something about everyone being together in a group. And I forget, it's like, it's called, what is it called? There's some kind of word where it's like everyone together and, focusing on the one thing. If anyone knows what it is, please like tell me, because I feel like I'm losing my mind. But it's something, I don't even remember. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, good for you. Very exciting. All right, next submission. I went to a wedding last year. I was someone's date, and the best man had previously dated the groom's sister. Okay, so during his best man speech, he made a joke about how if his friendship with the groom could withstand dating his sister, then it could withstand anything. The groom's sister was married, and her husband was drunk and didn't like the joke at all. Eventually, a fight broke out, and the husband threw a shoe at the best man. It was crazy. Oh my gosh. See, I feel like with jokes like this, if you're going to pull something, you have to run it by everyone. Otherwise, it could end up awkward like that, and you're having a shoe thrown at you. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. I love, I think, first of all, weddings are like so annoying. I'm so glad I'm married, and I would literally never go through something like that again. But honestly, the best and craziest stories I feel like are from weddings. Like, I hear so many horror stories, especially with like wedding planners or like the wedding photographers. There's so many stories about like bridezillas and, just bridesmaids being complete bitches. And it's just like, weddings, I swear, bring out the worst in people. Like, I don't know what it is, but that is crazy. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad. It seems like he threw the shoe after, so maybe he went up to him after, because that would be awful if he literally just went up like while he was giving the speech in front of like grandma and grandpa and just chucking a shoe. Oh my gosh. But it would be fun to like that. I've never been to a wedding where something crazy like that happened, but I feel like it'd be so fun to be at a wedding and see some crazy thing go on. But wow, I hope they've all figured it out and it's been settled. But wow. Okay, before we get into this recap, I remember this is what I want to talk to you guys about, because every search bar on my phone now it says like AI or like Meta, when I'm on Facebook, when I'm Googling something, when I'm on Instagram, like when I Google, it pulls up like, this is AI generated, we're testing it out. And then Instagram or Facebook, I search into like an AI bar. So like, is everything just becoming AI already? And I didn't even give permission for this to happen. Like I didn't update my phone, I don't think. And all of a sudden everything's AI and I have to like, I don't know what's going on. And it's really, it's annoying to me. I don't know why. It pulls up what I want, but I'm like, I don't want this AI thing coming and telling me and giving me my answers. Especially the Google thing is really frustrating to me because I'm like, I didn't sign up for an AI person. I remember when the whole Snapchat bot came out, that was freaking creepy. And now it's on everything. And you know what doesn't have it? TikTok. I don't think it does. So what's going on? Because TikTok, the app you're trying to ban, is the only one that doesn't have freaking AI. I guess they have AI like filters and stuff, but this world, if everything's gonna become AI, I don't know. And I'm so glad that I'm through the school aspect of my life. Like I've graduated, and because I couldn't sit here and say that I wouldn't use AI for like a paper or a project and I wouldn't feel good about it. But if it's there, it's like, why wouldn't you? You know? But I feel like we're gonna keep getting into this whole AI is gonna start taking over everything, and it's just weird to me. I feel like almost out of control with it. Even like the small thing with the search bars when I'm searching on my phone and it's an AI, it's just like, it's creepy and it weirds me out because I don't understand it, I guess, because obviously like I'm human. But let me know if you guys have everything being an AI search bar as well. And especially when you're Googling something, it's like, I forget what it said the first time I did, but it was like, we're just testing out the AI like Google answering thing. So I don't know what that's about. But I don't like it. And if there's a way to get rid of it, which I doubt there is, but please. All right, now we are going to get into our recap of the new Bravo TV series called The Valley. So it is currently on the first season. There are 6 episodes out. They come out every Wednesday, just like Vanderpump Rules. Or maybe Vanderpump's on Tuesdays. Anyway, it comes out on Wednesdays. And, okay, before you close out, before you leave, even if you've never seen a Bravo show, even if you don't think you're going to care, just listen to the recap, because I'm going to recap it and give a summary of what the show's about, because I'm telling you, it is such good TV to watch. And you need, like, at least just watch the 6 episodes that are out already, and then you can decide if you want to keep watching or not. But The Valley recap. So The Valley is basically a spin-off of Vanderpump Rules, because 2 of the main characters were also on Vanderpump Rules. So they're now all in their 30s and 40s, and it basically just follows a group of friends who left kind of that whole party scene in West Hollywood and have now moved down to the Valley, where all the families go. It's like literally like in a valley, I think, of California, so it's like really hot, but that's where families move to once they're done, you know, with their party scene. And I didn't think I was gonna like it, because I'm like, I'm not 40, I don't have kids, like I don't have a family. Well, I guess I have a family, but like, you know what I mean? And so I didn't think I was going to like it. But then I kept seeing all of these videos and memes coming out from it, and it looked really, really good. It was full of drama. And so I ended up watching the first episode, hooked instantly. And thank God there were 5 or 6 episodes out already. Binged them all like that. And I'm actually like so obsessed, and have not been obsessed with a show like this in forever, because again, I watch the same exact shows and I don't watch anything new. All right, so Jax and Brittany, they were on Vanderpump Rules together. They're obviously married now, and they are one of the main couples in today. So this was filmed last year, and it's funny because now in 2024, Jax and Brittany are separated, and the news of their separation came out right before The Valley premiered, so people still don't know if it was like a publicity stunt or what's going on, because in I think like episode 3, they were obviously like having problems and fighting, but they were like, oh yeah, we don't use the D word in our family, like we would never get divorced. So now they're separated, and everyone's kind of like, oh my gosh, like what's going on, and wanting to kind of see how it plays out in the show. So yeah, that's Jax and Brittany. Next couple, Jesse and Michelle, they are my least favorite. I've never hated someone on TV, character-wise, reality TV show-wise, as Jesse. He is, oh my gosh, so annoying, like just awful to his wife, literally hate him. And Michelle also is just like the worst, honestly. And they are also in now 2024 separated. And you would be able to tell watching the show that they would end up getting separated. Because there's just a lot going on with them. So the next couple, Janet and Jason, they are pregnant with their first kid. And Jason, he's a lawyer. He's really, really sweet. Janet you're made to think she's sweet, but she's definitely the root of all this drama. And you can kind of tell that everyone's like, she's the silent killer. And no one on the show really knows that. But when you're watching the show, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, she's actually the one that is why this came out. Or like, why are they getting mad at her? Because they should be getting mad at Janet because she's the one that started it, but no one knows because she's being like quiet about it and being really sneaky. So they're interesting to watch. And then Danny and Nia, that was part of the reason why I was interested in the show, because Danny, he was on Hannah Montana. He was in that whole Disney Channel world. And I was like, he looks really familiar. And come to find out, he was on a lot of Disney Channel shows. And then Nia, she was Miss USA. She's so sweet. He's really good to her. They're a really great couple. Almost like, too good of a couple, but they're really, really fun to watch, and they're my favorite couple on the show for sure. And then Kristen, she was from Vanderpump Rules, and she is definitely the main cause of drama for sure. She makes for great TV, I'll tell you that. And she is dating a guy named Luke, and they're trying to have a baby. So she's, I believe, 40 years old, and she really wants a child. And she tried to have a kid with someone else. I guess they broke up, and so now she's dating this guy named Luke, and they're trying to have a kid. So that's interesting to see her storyline, but they're funny to watch as well. But basically, so far, the whole entire cast, all the groups of friends are all ganging up on Kristen, trying to say that she is like the villain of the show, which I think that Jesse and Michelle, is that the name? Yeah, they're the villains of the show because they're like the worst. Because Kristen, yes, okay, she's crazy. She definitely starts a lot of things, but she makes for really good TV, and she's not making up lies. Like, she'll just say something and people are getting mad because she's telling the truth. So the most recent episode, this whole fight broke out, and that's what's been going viral on all social media. Basically, Kristen kept saying that she's been protecting Michelle, who, if you remember, is the girl that I hate, don't like. And basically keeps saying, like, Michelle was being mean to Kristen, and Kristen's like, I have protected you, like, blah, 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 blah. And I guess eventually, like, Michelle's husband, Jesse, had enough of it, and then was like, if you say anything about my wife that I don't know, like, blah, blah, blah. Got into this whole huge fight. Like, all the producers had to get involved and, like, hold them back. There were, like, so many people in the hallway, like, fighting. It was such good TV. Oh, my gosh. And so, basically, come to find out, this is a spoiler, but, like, you'll still want to watch it. Basically, like, Kristen says that Michelle had a boyfriend for a year, like, while they were married, and then it just, like, cuts to, like, a cliffhanger. And so, like, it's so good. Like, it's so good. So you definitely want to watch it. And it's also fun to watch because it's, like, all of their kids are super young. They threw a birthday party that was, like, carnival fair themed. And it was, like, all the parents there just, like, drinking. And, like, there was some drama. But it's just, like, it's fun TV. It's, like, easy to watch. And very interesting. Very interesting. And it's like, just because you have kids, doesn't mean your life's going to be boring anymore. So I highly recommend just trying to watch it, because I do want to recap this for sure every week, just because I didn't think I was going to get into it, and now I'm, like, literally obsessed. It is probably, like, right now it's my favorite show because it's the only thing I'm watching besides, like, the shows that I always watch. But The Valley, definitely give it a look into for sure. And yeah, that's the only recap I'm gonna do. Still waiting for Dancing with the Stars, which I don't think that's gonna come out until, like, November, unfortunately. That's, like, just, it's such a good show, and I'm excited too because there's so many people and celebrities that obviously want to be on Dancing with the Stars. And if you guys remember Ariana from last year's season, who's on Vanderpump Rules, who went through that whole affair thing, there's other cast members on the show who are like, and I wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars and Ariana got it and blah 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 blah. And you could tell they're so jealous, and I'm like, that's gonna be so funny if they get on it this year, because it's like, y'all are such pick-me's and you're only on it because you complained about it on national television. But I'm excited for that. And yeah, again, a lot to look forward to. And next week, I believe I'll be doing the Dance Moms reunion recap. And then when is the Met Gala again? 2024. Oh, it's next Monday. Okay, so I guess I'll recap it in 2 weeks because, yeah. Okay, so in 2 episodes, so not next episode but the episode after, we'll have the Met Gala recap. And yeah, so let me do my little housekeeping. Of course, I do post on YouTube every single week, so make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's just Literally What, and I do post weekly, so make sure you're subscribed and give it a thumbs up, because I think I have 30 something amazing followers. I do want more of you guys, of course. And if you are not following the Instagram, definitely go follow the Instagram. It's Literally What with 2 Y's 3 T's. We are almost at 500 followers, and I am doing a $1,000 follower giveaway. So that's something to look forward to. Make sure that you are giving 5-star reviews on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, if you can do that. I don't know if you can. And just write in if you have anything to write in about. But again, like, you guys just tuning in weekly is everything and more to me. It's so much fun for me to do. And yeah, I hope you all have an amazing week. We're getting into the summer months. It's going to be so much fun. A lot of fun things to look forward to. I love you guys so, so much. I hope you have the best week ever. I'll see you next week for some more hot gossip, hot takes, stories, and advice that will have you saying literally what? Bye.